Hello everyone, my name's Katie. I chose to do taxation of qualified plans for my project. You will see attached in Blackboard a Microsoft Word document, and that just explains qualified plans a little further for someone that may not have an understanding of them. A traditional IRA is a form of qualified plan, and it may be eligible for tax deductibility at time of contribution. The reason I say may and not definitely is because you must fall within a certain dollar amount to meet the eligibility requirements for it to be tax deductible. Tax deductible at time of contribution means that when you're contributing to your account and putting money in during your working years, you will not pay taxes on it. However, taxes will be owed at time of withdrawal. So basically, you put your money into your account, and until you begin withdrawing, normally during retirement, you won't pay any taxes on it. And this is a benefit to most people because oftentimes your tax rate is a lot lower when you're retired than it is when you are working and you're making money. Next, I will explain the contributions to qualified plans a little further. Qualified plans are tax deferred, which I mentioned before. That means that neither the employer or the employee pays taxes on the contributions. The exception to this is Roth IRAs. Those are a little bit different than a traditional IRA, which I already went over. The contributions are also excluded from payroll tax, and this entices the employers to fund plans. But it does not pertain to 401k plans, 403b plans, Simples, SARSEPs, and 457 plans. So if you're looking for payroll tax exclusion, you should probably think about avoiding those plans that I just mentioned below. Withdrawals from a qualified plan can happen at any time. However, several factors will influence how those withdrawals are treated, such as your age, the amount of money, the amount of amount of years that you've been working, etc. Individuals must pay taxes in the year of distribution. And early withdrawals, so before 59 and a half, will result in a 10% penalty. I mentioned before that early withdrawals will result in a 10% penalty to the plan holder, but there are certain exceptions that allow you to withdraw before 59 and a half and have no penalty. So one of the most obvious is death. Obviously, you will not be penalized if you pass away. Another exception to the 10% withdrawal is attainment of age 59 and a half. So if you are 59 and a half, you obviously won't be penalized with that 10%. Another exception would be disability or medical expenses that exceed 7.5% of the AGI, and that's the number for 2020. It might change in the next year. Another exception would be rollover to a different plan. You would not be penalized for that. And certain distributions to qualified military reservists called to active duty will not be penalized. And qualified birth or adoption distributions will also not be penalized. On previous slides, I mentioned that you are only eligible for tax deferment with a traditional IRA if you fall within these certain price levels. To the left you can see a chart that explains the price levels in the phase out that will make you eligible for tax deferment based on single or married filing jointly. If your income falls below the AGI listed in the table to the left, you will be eligible for tax deduction. Within the phase out, so for single, it's 65 to 75,000. So if you fall within that price range, you will get partial tax deductibility. But if you're above those levels, so say you're single and you make $78,000, you will not be eligible for any tax deductibility, and in that case, you may want to consider a different plan, such as a Roth IRA. I mentioned before that Roth plans are the exception to the traditional IRA where it's tax deductible at time of contribution. So with Roth IRAs, account holders actually pay the taxes when they contribute the money to their account. So it's not tax deferred, they're paying their taxes up front. But as a result of this, they pay their taxes up front, so when it comes to withdrawal time, normally retirement, they will not have any taxes that need to be paid because they've already paid their taxes. In order to qualify for that tax-free status, you must be at least 59 and a half and had a Roth IRA plan for at least 5 years. This has been a brief overview of the taxation of qualified plans. Traditional and Roth IRAs have very different tax treatments depending on income, age, and if the requirements have been met. You can learn a little bit more about qualified plans by looking at the extra handout that I have attached. Thank you for listening.